Let's love. I move, bezel. You got the power, stay settled. Next level, next level.
All right, what's good people? It's your boy Deshaun Teller back with another episode of Power Players. So I don't dislike you guys today. You know what I'm saying? So I know we going through our little drama in the DM. Y'all always asking for people to come on. Y'all need to talk about this. And I don't know why y'all ain't talking about this. Why is everything about business and books and blah, blah, blah? Well, today I want y'all to send me an apology because I got one of the illest women on today. I want to introduce her as a best-selling author, and then I'll let her tell y'all everything else that she does. But from what I know her as is basically putting the behinds in the seats when it comes to reading these ill drama-filled books. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome LaShonda Devaughn to the show. I appreciate you coming on. How you doing today?
I am doing amazing. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it. So I'm LaShonda Devaughn. I'm a national bestselling author. I wrote 17 books. Right now, I also have a hair brand with my daughter. It's called Shiny Beauty. www.shinybeauty.com. And just an all-around public speaker. And just a serial entrepreneur.
Love it, love it, love it. So you see how humbly she said that. Oh yeah, I just wrote 17 books. Like, come on, like first of all, you need your flowers. I wish I had a little button I could just give you your applause and yeah, come on, 17 books. Like that's crazy. So I had a couple of guests on, a couple of authors, and I personally had this segment that I have like it's called either you are BE or AE when it comes to like an author in this game. Can you guess what that means?
Okay.
BE
B
or AE? Yes.
B-E or A-E. I don't know. What
So
does
it's
that mean?
before ebooks and after ebooks. You know what I'm saying? So that's my little power players. You know what I'm saying? That's my little power players thing. So y'all don't steal it because it's basically trademark and copywritten right here. But BE, you know what I'm saying? You're definitely a BE author. You know what I'm saying? You've been here way before ebooks. So talk about, you know what I'm saying, what made you want to start writing and what, you know what I'm saying, what made you tell yourself like, all right, I'm gonna be a dominant writer in this game.
Okay, so I started, oh my goodness, it's definitely BE because it was 2007 when I published my first book, The Hood Chick Story. And what made me write that book, I was in a really, really dark place. My little brother was murdered, my first boyfriend was murdered, and I was losing so many people to the streets. So I always tell people I went to more funerals than graduations. And I used my pen as an outlet. So when my first love died, I was writing him letters, and it just made me. It was like my grief was being released through my pen. So I wrote a hood chick story, and I was just like, this book is incredible. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in that book. I was trying to get published. I was like sending my manuscript everywhere and getting rejection letters. So I was like, you know what? Let me try self publishing. So I tried self publishing, and it took off like boots to the ground. I was like creating my own tours, went to like New York, North Carolina, every bookstore they probably know me, okay? And then my book just got in there with all the big wigs. Everybody who was turning me down, they was like, "Who is this little girl? Who is this girl that wrote a hood chick story?" And I'm just like, "It's me," because my book was like in the newspapers and the magazines with like all the big wigs, the Nikki Turners, the Vicky Stringers, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" So then after Hood Chick Story was getting all that traction, all the publishing houses started reaching out to me, and I rejected them. I was like, "You know what? Imma do this on my own." So that's when I published all my books, came up with my own publication, LSDV Publications, and I signed other authors. So I wrote 17, but I published over 35 for other authors as well.
Well, that was gonna be my next question because I know, we wear multiple hats in this game, you know what I'm saying? Literally. So today I got my power players hat on, you know what I'm saying? So I'm 1000% behind you. I know what you mean. So Talk a little bit about your publishing experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, there's a different time right now. It's not totally different. It's not like we didn't see this before with the elevation of technology, but just talk about how the game has kind of evolved. Like you said, you were here before ebooks, so you kind of seen, the industry mature. So just talk a little bit about your experience as far as like transitioning from the paperback to the ebooks and things like that.
Okay. I remember when I wrote a Hood Chick story and I bought 5,000 copies, and people were like, "Are you crazy? You're never gonna sell 5,000 copies." And I was like, "Watch me." So that was before the ebooks, and actually that was before Instagram. I think MySpace was just fading out at the time. Facebook was like, on the rise. And I was like, "Watch me." And like I said, I was making my own tours and just like shaking hands and, just doing what I had to do to get my book out there. So the BEs, shout out to y'all because it was some work. But when ebooks came about, I would say, I'm one of them ones because I was always number one on the best-selling list. Like my book, I'd Rather Be Single, A Hood Chick Story, Love's a Bitch, If All Men Cheat, All Women Should Too. All those books were like doing numbers. So I shout out to the ebooks because when they came out, that definitely made things easier, but we had to grind though. You know about that. We had to really grind before that time. So it was just a lot of just networking. And I just told myself, I was like, once I learn the game, I'm gonna teach other authors and pay it forward. So I did write a book called Write That Book and Make That Money because I wanted to teach other authors what I know. Yeah. So yeah, it was a grind back then. But now, salute to all the authors that are what is it, AE?
Is AE.
Ebook.
Yep. After ebooks, you're
Yeah.
AE or BE. Yep, yep. And no disrespect. No disrespect. Somebody had to be VD, somebody had to be AD. You know what I'm saying? That's what keeps this machine moving. So, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely always want to salute my BEs because I know exactly what it was. Sit on that phone with a printer and say, listen, I want to order 5,000 copies. And they like, wait a minute, what publisher you signed to? I'm signed to myself. That's why I need 5,000 books because I'm about to hit the streets. So that's what it is. No, I don't know. I appreciate you being honest about that because it's not easy. And then, so so when you think about your career and you think about, all right, you got longevity. I mean, that's hands down. A lot of people can say, oh, I'm an author, I'm an this, I'm an that, but how many people can really say, I've been in the game for almost 20 years, right? And still thriving, still grinding, still elevating. What are the authors that you looked up to before, you put your first book out? What are those authors and those titans in the game that you kind of want to, you not necessarily emulate because nobody wants to sound like somebody, of course, in the writing field, but who are the authors and those writers that you were like, got inspired by in order to become a professional writer and an author?
I would say Omar Tyree. When I read Fly Girl, I was like, okay, this is somebody speaking my language. He's speaking about girls like me, and that really inspired me. So when I wrote a Hood Chick story, I was like, you know what? I need to write from the voice of, I'm from the hood. So I'm like, a lot of people from the hood, I'm from the hood. I didn't really like reading books like that. So I was like, I'm gonna write a book I'm gonna write all my books in the language of people like me. I know they're gonna, gravitate towards it. They can feel, the backstory. Even if you're not from the hood, you can feel the backstory because all my books like pull on your heartstrings. So I would say definitely Omar Tyree, Carl Weber. Those are like the main ones. Like I can remember that to this day. Like just reading the book and I was just like, this is dope. So yeah, definitely. And I seen him recently too at an event.
Which one?
Oh, Omar Tyree.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Shout out to Omar. He's actually gonna be on the show. I don't want to tip my hat too much, but what up to Omar? We're gonna see him in a couple of weeks, so that's what's up. No, that's good. No, and I definitely like to ask that question of all authors because I also want the new authors to know, like, because you are setting your own path, you're creating your own lane, it's always nice to know, like, look, there's other people that inspired you. There's other people, and you need to carry that. You need to carry that, and that's actually really good to know because these people are literally putting it down for the next gen that's coming in. So Omar is one of those guys that we always reading them. You know what I'm saying? We always reading those books, and it's just like in order to get hyped up and get that confidence up to say, yeah, we read books in high school, we read books in middle school, and it was like, it's from a different era, you know what I'm saying? And he started to get into the new era. He started reading about the hip hop culture and all. And it's like, oh, okay, I can write like this. And like you said, being from, because you're from Beantown, right? You're from the Bean. He from, yeah, okay, that's what's up. He from the Bean. That's what's up. That's what's up here now visiting. I'm not gonna ask you where you at because I don't. This is social media, and I don't want to be responsible for no stalkers. Yes, say this is a zero stalker platform. I don't want no I don't want no smoke. But no, that's good though. I definitely like to hear that because yeah, those are some serious shoes to fill. So let's talk a little bit about what you have going on today. So your social media is off the hook. If you haven't followed LaShonda, oh my God, it's just hilarious. It's funny as heck, right? So she does a lot of marriage comedy and stuff like that, and couples comedy is funny as hell. So y'all could definitely got to check it out. So what made you kind of get into that? I mean, I know you're already a creator and a writer and stuff like that. So what made you kind of pivot and start to show your comedic side too, using your social media and your platform?
So recently I just got married. Next month is
Congratulations. Nice.
it's cute. And I love love and I love inspiring people to promote healthy love. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna put that, we're storytellers. So anything that I put out is gonna be like a story. So I naturally just did it. I told my husband, I was like, I want to do relationship content. He was like, let's do it. So I put it out there and I got a lot of motion right now. Like right now, I think my page is like on 4.5 million views. Like
Oh, it's
it's
crazy.
insane.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It keeps popping up in my feed, and I'm just like, even when I'm just like, I'm grinding, I'm like in the middle of work, and then I scroll through, and I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? This is spot on. You know what I'm saying? Spot on. But I do got a question. So I do got a question. So I'm a fly on the wall. I've heard about this whole quote unquote soft life, right? You were gonna have to explain that to a guy, right? Explain it in the terms to where a guy who is a boyfriend or a fiance or a husband, you got to explain it for those people too, because we actually grew up on the opposite side. Got it tough. It's
Yes.
scary, you know what I'm saying? Like even the way we talk to each other. So explain soft life, if you will.
And I'm glad that you said that because, like, growing up, I'm a millennial. So as a millennial, and I know I think you're a millennial as well, but
No,
well, you can relate to.
definitely no, 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 no. I am Gen X. Shout out to
Listen.
shout out to Gen X. We are Gen X. We are used to building cars, crashing cars, burning up cars, stealing cars. We are a different breed. So set up the Gen X. All of
But, you used to the same thing, independence, the women were taught work hard, get it by any means necessary, take care of the family, whether you're with your mate or not, independence. Just, we had to live in our masculine energy as females a lot. So when you're in a relationship with a man who allows you to feel soft enough to be in your feminine energy, it just feels good. Like, I don't have to be on survival mode anymore. I was a single mom with two kids, and single mom with two kids, I'm the head of the household. So, I'm always tough, and I gotta go to the school. I gotta if somebody messing with you. What's up? Had to do all of that. So when you get a good man who's like, I'll handle that. And then you can be soft. You can rest in your femininity. You don't have to be masculine anymore. And I'm just, trying to promote women to rest in that. That feels great. And I did one of the posts that went viral, got like 2.5 million views. I put like tape over my mouth. Oh my goodness. I think I put like point of view, how to stay happily married, putting the tape over my mouth. So I lost so many followers. I lost like 1,000 followers over that post. And I was just like, well, what is going on? They don't understand what I mean. So what I mean is, when you have a good man, like we don't have to bicker and be toxic and, talk back and disrespect your mate. No, there's a way to communicate. I always say when you're in a relationship and you have issues, it's not you against each other, it's you against the issue, right? So when more people know about that, like let's attack the issue, not each other. I don't have to attack my king. Like he's amazing, he provides, he's just great. So why am I going to attack him? So that's what that means. It's not like silence yourself. Like I would never tell a woman to silence herself. Like that's crazy. But it is just like in those moments, in those heated moments, we can talk. Like we're adults, we know how to communicate. And I like to live soft. I'm in my sweetheart era too. Like I'm a sweetheart. I don't want to be hard. So that's all that means. So that's, the soft life, we can rest in femininity.
So it's really interesting that you said that because how crazy of a time are we living in when you're saying being supportive, being more uplifting, less combative, less that's controversial now. That's crazy. That is literally the epitome of what type of environment that we live in when people can say, no, 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 you need to get along. You need to be in harmony in your house. And that's a controversial conversation. That's so crazy. It blows my mind of how
This
competition in this country, how being, overly competitive, how everything is a fight. Like you said, everything is a fight, everything. And it doesn't have to be like that. That's a very interesting point. That's why, of course, just, being the nerd that I am as far as like, researching and always getting prepared for my next project. I'm always looking at different things. And so when I seen that on your page and it said, promoting soft life and things like that, I'm like, it's a great concept. It's a great concept, but it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Shout out to Karis One. I know this is going to sound weird, but a thought just came to my head. The first time I heard something similar is when he said people think that peace is soft and we need to get out of that. Just to be promoting peace is not soft. And I thought about that, and that's carried me a lot of years. Like being at peace and being happy in your own skin, that's not a soft thing. That is a real life peaceful thing that you need to be able to embrace. So I do commend you on that. But the comedic side of it is hilarious because the take one is the one that I seen. And I was like, I'm definitely not reposting this because unlike you, I cannot afford to lose 1,000 followers. I need my little 2 followers. I need my little 2 really loyal followers to hold me down to make sure that I'm confident to keep pushing forward. So I can't afford to lose 1,000 people. So I commend you for being brave.
Thank you. I lost a lot of followers, but now I'm gaining a lot. So I feel like I lost the people that weren't my tribe, and my tribe is coming in. So I'm
Okay.
grateful for that.
No, I think
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think is we're all expressing ourselves, I personally love the entertainment industry, but I'm more or less into the art. So if you asked me, if you sat me down in a chair, knelt me down and said, okay, what do you like the most? I wouldn't say the entertainment industry itself, but I love the art. So the art of it is that no matter if we're using a small camera, audio recording device, if we're using, television, if we're using a paintbrush, it's still about the art. And I see that
Yes.
coming out inside of your page where it's like, I don't have to write a whole book about this topic. I can now express it in as less words as possible. And it's coming out and it's coming out. So I do, like I said, this is a show where we give out virtual flowers. So you just got another one to add to the bouquet. So
I appreciate that. Thank you so
no
much.
personal, no problem. So let's get into more some professional stuff. Like I want to talk about a little bit about where the industry is right now. I mean, again, 17 books deep. Are you still publishing, or is that something that you're kind of reserving more for the screen?
So right now, I think my last book was My Hair Diary, which, is like a bundle with my hair oil. So that was about 2 years ago. So I haven't wrote a book in 2 years, but yes, I'm still in the industry. I'm still gonna write books. But yeah, right now I'm focused more on the on screen, the content creation and things like that. But yes, I'm still in the industry.
Okay, and then I know that right now the word of the day is either AI or vertical. The minute somebody says AI vertical, I'm literally just gonna pull my arm and out and just beat them with it. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody says vertical, you gotta go vertical, you gotta go vertical. It's like I get it, I understand. Thank you. And then so so now that we're here, we're in the quote unquote vertical paradigm. What's your thoughts on it? I'm pretty sure you got more than enough content that will play well on vertical. So what's kind of your next elevation, your next iteration of what your creatives are going to look like?
So I know I'm my man on Instagram. However, my book I'd Rather Be Single, I wrote that at a time when I was single, and I wrote that from a woman's standpoint of what we go through when we're single, the emotions, all that good stuff. So that is going to be a micro drama. It's going to be a vertical, and it's coming out in a few months. And it's the first time I'm speaking on it too. And it's gonna be AI characters. It's gonna be played by AI characters. And my books, I'm on the cover of all of my books. So I'm actually the main character in the story, the AI, LaShonda.
Wait.
But yeah.
Time. Let's go back. Let's go back. So it's so funny. That's why I love doing this show because we talk to Titans every time somebody's on here. I don't just talk to regular people. I talk to emerging artists. You gotta be on the ball. So you see how she just glanced over that. Oh yeah, I'm just doing a little AI thing, and I'm the AI character. What? Rewind, tape, push pause, start again. You're gonna be the AI character. That was one of the fly things. Again, let me tell y'all, LaShonda, she's acting real humble right now, but she's a pioneer with this whole book cover thing because she started putting herself on the book covers. After the second one, the third one, everybody was like, "Yo, who is this girl on this cover?" You know what I'm saying? Like like the model look, but nobody knew it was her until the first couple of book signings, and it was like, "Yo, that's fly." And then the fact that she kept running with it and put herself on those covers, come on, it's groundbreaking. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? I was on my first book and I could never put myself on a cover again. I don't even got an author photo on the back of my books. You know what I'm saying? I don't even do that. So I gotta definitely commend you and give you credit on that because that was absolutely fly. But no, that's fly. So okay, so now you're gonna keep running with it now, and you're gonna be the AI character. Come on, that's dope. That fire emoji. You know what I'm saying? What?
Yes.
Oh,
So weekly, so I'm collaborating with Jaro Go, and they are a black social media company. So it's like a black Instagram, a black Twitter, black Facebook, and collaborating with them on it. So we have weekly calls on my micro drama, and they just show me the characters. I'm so excited! I can't wait for y'all to see it. It's
love it.
insane.
Yeah, it's gonna air on that other platform.
So it's gonna air on that platform, but just like all other platforms, you put it on YouTube, you put it on Instagram. It's gonna still be everywhere, but it's gonna premiere there.
Nice, nice, and it's gonna be a vertical. It's gonna be a vertical micro series.
Vertical.
Okay. Is it gonna be the same, based on a book? Like, how are you kinda, navigating the waters of, truncating the book and making sure that you got enough, drama that's in there, that's actually in the series as well? How are you kinda navigating that part?
So, yeah, all my books are drama because it keeps you coming back. It pulls on your heartstrings. So I'd Rather Be Single was an anthology. Part one was an anthology. I collaborated with, I believe it was like three other authors. But that book did so well and people really loved my story that I did a part 2 and part 3 with just my story. So part 1 of the micro drama is gonna be my story and I'd Rather Be Single, and then after season 1, we're gonna do a season 2 and 3 based on the book. So I had to convert the book into a micro drama, and this is my first time, doing the screenplay and all that stuff, so I'm excited. It's just, navigating these new waters. It's amazing. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and like I said, I'm the AI character, so it's even, like, more surreal, like, it's insane. I'm loving this process.
Love it.
In
So I absolutely love AI, right? I mean, the book behind me is called Black GPT, and it's called Black GPT for a reason. It is exactly what it sounds like, full stop, right? So it's Black GPT, facts on facts. So, but one of my questions for you is when you started using AI, because again, I probably lost a few followers when I start talking AI because I know people are like, either it's too advanced, either they don't understand it, either they're, afraid of it, or just hate it. Like some people just like, yo, don't talk to me about AI. So what's kind of like your thoughts? And again, I don't want to talk about now because I know you're deep into it, but when AI really started coming up and started kind of quote unquote infiltrating the entertainment industry and the arts of it. What was kind of your thoughts about it? And then what made you really kind of sit down and say, no, I'm gonna do a deep dive into it, into the technology.
Well, I see, the state of the culture right now. AI is prevalent. And then I'm hearing, like I said, I haven't published a book in 2 years, but I'm hearing that Amazon allows you to still publish using AI, but you just have to let them know that, I've used AI as well. And being a BE, I'm like, hopefully, these authors are doing 80% themselves, 20% AI. But, if you can make it work, I mean, writing a book takes months sometimes. So if it can be shorter and if not years for some people, right? So if it can be a shorter process and you love that author and they can keep pushing books, I'm all for it. I'm not knocking it at all. So, it's working for us. So
No, I think that's
that's
important.
a
And I think is one of my biggest things. So I am on pro AI, right? Full stop. It's have to be something really, really crazy for me to say stop using AI or not get involved because my background has always afforded me like kind of like, oh, something's going on. I'm not saying that my company is the first to the punch, but we're definitely on the cutting edge because we're like, oh, something's brewing up. The kettle's boiling. Let's see what's going on over there. So when AI first started, and again, these are years. This is years ago. People think it just started in 24. No, AI has been around for a long time. Shout out to Amazon, AWS, because they was really trying to like get people on it so early, but it was just it's too much. Too much. Even Microsoft was
Yeah.
just like, no, you sure you don't want to use this machine learning to help out? Everybody's like, no, I'll just write it myself. Don't ask me to this. So they were trying to like put little hints in and stuff like that. So we've seen it coming for a while. And one of the things that I do like is that people, again, shout out to my BEs because the ones that stick around and stay, they know how to basically adapt. So before ebooks, you had to sit down with a typewriter and a pencil and a pen and do edits in red ink and all of this stuff. So it's like to elevate and to hear you say that you're going to use AI for the next iteration, like you're taking the same content that you already had, you're repurposing it and running it through the AI machine. I just think that is fly. I think that is dope. I think it is motivational too that you can do your art within the new tech. So don't allow the tech to make your art suffer because I do understand that. You're right. There's a lot of people that want to take shortcuts. I mean, I see it with the flyers and I see it with the covers and I'm like, if you put out a book cover and the person on your book cover looks like another character from another book, I'm going to say, stop. Just stop. That guy's name is Ronald on your cover. I see the same person named Malik on another cover. Unless these are two parallel universes happening at the same time, just
I be seeing that.
just stop.
Mhm.
Call us. We will help you. Call us. We got you. Or call LaShonda. She got you. You know what I'm saying? She got you. She will definitely hook you up. So I do want to get into some advice. That was one of my notes. Without being too preachy, but you are a professional. You know what I'm saying? You are a professional. You've been, like you said, in this part of the game, especially with your self-help stuff, because although you do take a comedic edge to it, what you're saying is really, what you're saying is really hitting home. So what do you want to say to like your um couples and you know, you don't have to preach directly to the women because women probably know more than the dudes know, but they're just kind of, just trying to follow the beat and make sure that they keep up. But what would you say to more or less like the couples and things like that? What is like that one thing that you want them to take away from what you're posting, when it comes to your relationships, advice and things like that?
So as I said, I'm promoting healthy, intentional love. So I just want all the fiancés, girlfriends, wives, even people that are dating, be intentional about dating. For me, like women be like, I want to get married, but I don't want to scare a man off. So I'm like, you still have to be intentional. If marriage is what you want, then at some point early on in the relationship or early on in the dating phase, you need to make that clear. And then you can weed out the people that want that and you can weed out the men that don't want that. I'm into not wasting my time. Okay. So I always tell ladies, be very clear about what it is that you want because everybody's like, there's no good men out here. Listen, I got a amazing man, a great man, okay? And there's great men out here. So I do not want anybody to lose hope. And everybody that are in relationships, pray together and just, keep it solid, and people that are saying soft life doesn't exist or soft life, people are just so against it. Like, okay, my girl, she ain't living no soft life. I mean, that's a you problem. A woman needs to be feminine. A man needs to be masculine. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's what I'm promoting. And I hope that everybody takes that positively and, not think that it's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with living in your sweetheart era and, just being respectful to your man and vice versa, and my relationship advice goes for people that are in great relationships. I'm not telling you to put that tape on for somebody that is toxic. You need to put that tape on him and get him out of your house. Okay. So if you're in a toxic relationship, this doesn't apply to you. I'm talking about people that have good men that are in good relationships. Cherish that relationship, pray together, be intentional together, go to God about each other, and keep it moving, So that's my advice.
That is dope. I just felt myself losing probably about 500 followers. So I'm definitely, when you said,
So not.
when you said men supposed to be masculine, and I already felt it. I just felt a million people just like they're gonna be ready. What it's gonna be a whole witch hunt on this one. So I love you. Yeah, I love it. That's so it.
It doesn't apply, no disrespect to anybody, but
That's
if it
right.
does
That's
apply,
right.
I mean.
There's the cookie aisle. It's a lot of cookies. You ain't got to just stop at one top. I don't like that one. You keep moving down the aisle till you get to one where you like. You know what I'm saying? You're not a prisoner to what's in front of you. Move along. So no, listen. I appreciated this. I'm so glad that you took some time out of your busy day because I know it is not easy what you're doing right now. It is definitely probably one of the hardest things. It's the multitask and stay consistent, stay current, because that's the one thing where, all of our morning meetings and all of our, next moves, we have what we want to do next, but got to stay current. You cannot fall behind the eight ball because once you fall behind, it's very tough to catch up. But I definitely appreciate it. You got any last thoughts or anything like that before I do my end of podcast rant?
Look out for my micro drama. I'd rather be single coming soon. Follow me at LaShonda Devaughn on Instagram and author LaShonda Devaughn on Facebook and on all platforms. And yeah, thank you for having me. We worked together for a long time, always professional, always great work, and I appreciate it. So salute to
Listen,
you.
I appreciate you. Listen, I got a list, and I'm like, man, if I could get all my little crew together, and we could just like really tell these people how it really was, man. Oh man, woo, I don't think it's gonna be vertical though. We're gonna need a horizontal for that film. That film gotta be full feature IMAX, spec. That gotta be on a big screen.
And
But not appreciate you. So for anybody that's watching, that's having problems putting out their book or, just coming up with thoughts and ideas, definitely log on to nextlevelpublishing.com. We are the first AI powered voice to book publishing company in the game. We definitely want to help aspiring authors, people that's a little nervous about their art and things like that. Come on over, hire the professionals, and you'll be surprised how ill your book can come out. Until next time, please, please, please keep the faith and keep being a power player.